Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. The Young and the Restless next 2 weeks. Sharon sneaks in Daniel's place, cemetery drama erupts, Phyllis takes charge. The Young and the Restless, Y&R. Spoilers for the next 2 weeks, September 23 to October 4, reveal that Adam Newman, Mark Grossman, will lose his temper and whack Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson, in the face during their showdown at Society. During the week of September 23 to 27, Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, will get Billy out of there before he makes matters worse, and later she'll give him another nudge to repair his broken relationship with Chelsea Lawson, Melissa Claire Egan. Summer Newman, Allison Lanier, will also be rooting for Chelsea and Billy to patch things up, so we'll see if any matchmaking happens. Regardless, Phyllis will eventually take charge of a situation, so that could involve Billy's love life or an issue at Abbott Chancellor. Phyllis will support Billy's decision to stand against Victoria Newman's, Amelia Heinel, idea of a compromise. It's not like Victor Newman, Eric Braden, is willing to agree to one anyway, so Billy and Phyllis might as well fight him with everything they've got. However, Billy has made it clear that it's his way or the highway, so Phyllis had better be careful not to overstep. Of course, it's also possible Phyllis could land in some danger if she gets in Sharon Newman's, Sharon Case, way. Sharon will dream about hurting Daniel Romalotti Jr., Michael Graziadei, and get more guidance from Cameron Kirsten, Lyndon Ashby, on taking him down permanently. It looks like Sharon will end up with a bottle of poison or chloroform at some point, so things are about to get real. Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, will work on a plan to find Sharon and help her gain control of her life again, but will he be too late? Mariah Copeland, Cameron Grimes, Tessa Porter, Kate Fairbanks, and Faith Newman, Raylan Cast, will all be part of the Sharon search, but it'll be Nick who leads the way. Although Daniel and Heather Stevens, Vale Bloom, will apparently settle on the idea of moving away from Genoa City after all, Sharon will have other plans thanks to Cameron's advice. Sharon will take a sinister turn and ultimately sneak in Daniel's penthouse with a bag, so she'll be ready to put her scheme in motion. Will Sharon actually harm Daniel, or could there be another accidental victim instead? Regardless, some danger is brewing along with Sharon's emotional meltdown at the cemetery. Sharon won't know how she's going to get out of the mess she's created for herself, but maybe Cassie Newman, Cameron Grimes, could pop up in spirit form to help. We'll see Sharon spend some time weeping over Cassie's grave as she tries to figure out where her head's at. Sharon Case's 30th anniversary episode will air on September 27, so that'll bring a walk down memory lane and will connect to the present action too. During the week of September 30 October 4, Y&R fans will see the aftermath of all the Sharon chaos and any victims she's made along the way. Will Sharon finally get the mental help she needs? Is Sharon about to be sent to Fairview or perhaps another facility? Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope, will also get back to bonding with Billy, so she might reconsider an earlier suggestion from Audra Charles, Zalika Silver, about some possible revenge passion. Even if getting back at Adam and Chelsea isn't the goal, Sally could still grow closer to Billy and see where it leads. We'll bring you more predictions on Billy's link to Sally and any romantic updates that might be brewing. The Young and the Restless spoilers say the next 2 weeks will bring some twists and turns, so stay tuned for all the wild news and heated confrontations. Over the next 2 weeks in The Young and the Restless, Genoa City is about to witness a wave of drama, secrets, and emotional confrontations. At the center of it all are Sharon, Daniel, Phyllis, and a mysterious cemetery that seems to be the key to unraveling everything. Secrets that have been buried for years are threatening to rise to the surface, and those involved are forced to make difficult decisions that could change everything. Sharon sneaks into Daniel's place. Sharon Newman has been working hard to rebuild her life after a series of personal losses and heartache. Running Crimson Lights and focusing on her family has helped her regain a sense of normalcy, but something keeps tugging at her. Her curiosity is piqued after a series of strange encounters with Daniel Romalotti, who seems distracted and secretive lately. As Sharon grows increasingly concerned for her old friend, she decides to investigate further. Sharon knows that Daniel has been under a lot of pressure. His relationship with Heather has been shaky, and his family life is always turbulent thanks to Phyllis. but Sharon suspects there's more going on behind the scenes. One evening, under the cover of night, she sneaks into Daniel's place, hoping to find clues about what's really troubling him. She knows it's a risky move, but her instincts tell her she's on the right path. As she quietly searches through his things, Sharon stumbles upon something unexpected. A series of drawings and journal entries that reveal Daniel's connection to an old, forgotten cemetery on the outskirts of Genoa City. The entries suggest Daniel has been visiting the cemetery frequently, and Sharon senses that whatever he's hiding, there could be a ticking time bomb. But what exactly is buried in that cemetery, and why is Daniel so obsessed with it? Cemetery drama erupts. As Sharon digs deeper into Daniel's mystery, she decides to pay a visit to the cemetery herself. What she doesn't expect is that others have been drawn to this eerie location too. Phyllis Summers, ever the meddler, has been keeping tabs on her son and is fully aware of his strange behavior. Concerned for Daniel and eager to get to the bottom of things, Phyllis decides to confront him at the cemetery. Tensions come to a head when Phyllis shows up just as Sharon is snooping around. The two women have never exactly been close, and now they find themselves at odds in the middle of a fog-covered cemetery, with questions swirling in the air. Phyllis is furious to see Sharon there, accusing her of trying to dig up dirt on her son. "What are you doing here, Sharon?" Phyllis hisses, her voice low but filled with venom. "I could ask you the same thing," Sharon retorts, refusing to back down. "Something's wrong with Daniel, and I'm trying to help him." Phyllis, never one to let someone else take charge, tries to push Sharon away, but it's clear that Sharon won't be so easily deterred. Before they can argue further, they hear a rustling sound nearby. Startled, both women freeze, realizing they aren't alone in the cemetery. Just as tensions escalate, Daniel appears out of the shadows, looking disheveled and haunted. His face is pale, and his hands tremble as he approaches them. The sight of both Sharon and Phyllis together only adds to his distress. It's clear that he's been keeping a major secret, and now, with the two women he's closest to bearing down on him, the pressure becomes too much. "I didn't want anyone to find out," Daniel mutters, his voice strained, "but I can't hide it anymore." What comes next shocks both Sharon and Phyllis to their core. Daniel reveals that the cemetery holds the key to a dark secret from his past. A secret tied to a long-forgotten tragedy involving someone he once loved. The weight of his confession hangs heavy in the air, and it's clear that Daniel has been struggling with the guilt and grief for years. Phyllis takes charge. With the truth out in the open, Phyllis springs into action. Always one to take control of a situation, she's determined to help Daniel find closure, even if it means stirring up old wounds. Phyllis knows that Daniel can't move forward until he confronts his demons, and she's ready to do whatever it takes to support her son, even if it means stepping on a few toes along the way. Sharon, meanwhile, is torn between wanting to help Daniel and respecting his need for space. But as Phyllis takes charge of the situation, Sharon starts to wonder if Phyllis' aggressive approach is really what Daniel needs. There's a fine line between helping and controlling, and Phyllis has never been good at staying on the right side of that line. Over the next 2 weeks, Phyllis takes it upon herself to organize a proper memorial for the person connected to Daniel's secret, believing that this will give him the closure he so desperately needs. However, her plans are met with resistance, not only from Daniel but also from others in Genoa City who have their own ties to the cemetery and the tragic past it represents. As Phyllis bulldozes her way through the process, tensions rise between her and Daniel, who starts to feel suffocated by his mother's attempts to fix everything. At the same time, Sharon tries to offer a more compassionate approach, reminding Daniel that healing takes time and that he doesn't have to go through it alone. A showdown in the cemetery. The next 2 weeks build up to a dramatic showdown at the cemetery, where old secrets collide with new confrontations. Phyllis, in her quest to take charge, organizes a gathering to honor the past, but not everyone is on board with her plans. As emotions run high, Daniel is forced to confront his feelings, while Sharon finds herself caught in the middle of the family drama. Just as the memorial begins, an unexpected guest arrives, someone connected to the tragedy that has haunted Daniel for years. Their arrival sends shockwaves through the gathering, and Phyllis, ever the fighter, finds herself at odds with not just Daniel, but this mysterious newcomer as well. The next 2 weeks in The Young and the Restless promise to be filled with twists, turns, and explosive confrontations, as secrets are unearthed and the past refuses to stay buried. Will Daniel find the closure he needs, or will Phyllis' need to control the situation push him further away? And what role will Sharon play in helping him heal? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain: Geno City will never be the same again.